Welcome, welcome, welcome. As I say every week, I'm still Dr. Arnold Nerenberg. Been a licensed clinical psychologist in the state of California since 1974. And I've been, you could say, licensed to walk upon this earth since 1941, being over 83 years of age. My voice is a little compromised after COVID. My thing I tell myself when I'm that way is I hope to come back much stronger than ever. And when I get sick, it invigorates me. So I have a pretty good attitude about it. It's a lot better today than it was yesterday. The title of today's presentation is How to Read the Book of Your Own Heart for Creativity, Wisdom, and Problem Solving. How to read the book of your own heart for creativity, wisdom, and problem solving. I'm going to give you very specific methods of how to read the book of your own heart. You know, when I give these lectures, I might prepare about 5 minutes and make a little outline. Because mostly I read the book of my own heart based on psychology, religion, and my personal experiences. And then it just comes together from that, out of inspiration. Some could say reading the book of your own heart. Some would say promptings of the Holy Spirit. But you can do that. And you have far more knowledge available to you than you realize. And I'm going to show you ways to access that knowledge that's already within you. One way is to ask questions. Ask yourself a question. For example, what do I love doing so much that I would actually do for free if I could afford to? What do I love doing so much that I would do for free if I could afford to? Ask yourself that question and see what comes to your mind. For me, it's what I'm doing. I love what I do so much with my people, my patients. If I could afford to, I would do it for free. So that's a calling. Job is something you do from 9 to 5 to pay your bills. A career is a job you enjoy. A calling is a career you do for free if you could afford to. And a destiny is a calling you would pay to do if you could afford to. So for me, what I'm doing is a calling or a destiny. But you should be getting, and if you ask yourself the question, something probably came to your mind, and that's that came out of your own heart. You asked yourself that question, and you responded. You gave yourself an answer. Then, if you're in a situation where there's a conflict going on, and you ask this question, something will come into your mind. How did I co-create this problem? How did I co-create this problem? If you ask that question, you will see how you added fuel to it. Maybe you didn't start it. Maybe the other person did. But you'll see then your attitude. So that will give you getting that answer because of the question you're asking yourself. Let's say you're faced with, you have to make a big decision in your life. And then you say, what's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? A thought will come. A thought will come. Call it from the spirit. Call it from your heart. A thought will come. An answer will come. Now, when you're asking these questions, you know it's a good answer if the answer is honorable or is filled with goodness. So that way you can't go wrong following what comes to your mind because that's goodness and honor in it. The other way is recognizing promptings that come within us. They're very fleeting. For example, most people don't know this, but tears, when you're crying, every tear is a poem. Every tear is a poem. Within that feeling, within that reality of your tears, there's a poem, there's a song. That's where it comes from. So songs and poems come from. They come from people's tears. A lot of it's from the tears. So you have to just be able to recognize it. Some of it's very fleeting. But once you learn how to tune in and pay attention to those promptings, you'll be far more creative and original. And as you follow this path, you'll find yourself entering realms of greater wisdom. And I'm defining wisdom as integrating your joys and your sorrows, your gains and your losses into a constructive perspective. If you're going through a hard time and you ask yourself this question, what is the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? What is the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? An answer will come. I guarantee it. And it's going to have a positivity to it. Doesn't make the suffering go away, but it gives you a fuller perspective of what's going on. And that's where the wisdom comes in. It's good if you keep a little piece of paper and pen or a notebook with you, kind of catch the thing and write it down. Keep track of these promptings and urges. You can increase the frequency of inner urges, inner promptings, by reciting the 4 commandments of honor 3 times a day. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality, my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And the one of 2, depending whether you believe in God or not. If you don't believe in God, I seek always to serve my highest values. If you do believe in God, then God, your wish is my only wish. By doing that 3 times a day, the repetition is preparation for application to help you achieve internalization and stabilization. So as you're repeating that regularly, you'll get more promptings and urges and thoughts related to that because you're reminding yourself about it 3 times a day. And you have to do it all your life. Now, when you get a prompting that's constructive, honorable, and good, you must act on it. You must put it into action. Otherwise, after a while, you won't quite even see them. You just have to go and do it. You act on it. That's key. There's the urge, the prompting. It can be based on a question or not. And then you have to put it into practice. You have to do something, an action. Another one you could use, another question that's very helpful, one of the commandments of honor. I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. So you can be in a situation and you can say, wow, this was rough. But what's the power I gained from this hardship? What is the power? Typically, there's at least wisdom and compassion, at least that. Could be even more. So these questions will bring this into your consciousness. So an extension of this is intuitions, hunches, inclinations. Hunches, intuitions, inclinations. When you start paying attention to this, you're having it. Everybody has this. As you tune into it, you pay attention to it, your life will just blossom to be more creativity, more wisdom, and it'll facilitate your problem solving in all areas. Well, it's been my pleasure and my privilege to present to you how to read the book of your own heart for creativity, wisdom, and problem solving. I'm going to open it to our wonderful audience, keeping in mind that whenever you speak up or you ask a question, it helps everybody. In fact, people really benefit more from what you say than from what I said. They like to hear what other people are going through and how they're applying these things. People feel less alone and part of a community when they hear from each other. So I'm going to open this up to you right now for your questions and comments.
Hey, doctor, it's Marta.
Marta, good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
COVID, I'm doing well with COVID.
But what I wanted to say is I truly appreciate, the commandment of I'm grateful for the power I gained from hardship. I think that's, it's so powerful. And I think we can all use that. And when we really think about the hardships that we go through and are able to be grateful for going through it and gaining like new strength and courage that you didn't even think that you had. It's so powerful. I use that one quite a bit. And then I wish you well when I'm upset about something. comes across my mind often as well. So, I mean, I say them several times a day, and finally it's clicking in my head when I'm actually saying them.
Yeah, you told me it took a while. It took how long for it to start clicking for you?
I mean, probably 9 months or so.
9 months before it really clicked.
Right. And not just saying it just to repeat it, but actually realizing what I'm saying and applying it to situations where I haven't applied them before.
You see, that's the magic of it. What do you think made the difference? Just 9 months? It just takes time? Or is there any way that could be facilitated?
I don't know. I don't know. I think just being in situations where I did apply it, and then actually thinking about how it helped me. But I don't know I don't know what it was. I don't know what just made it click, but just something. I don't know what it was. I can't really pinpoint. You know,
what I'm going to do from now on is when I'm talking to people about it, I'm going to say, it could take a while for this to really click for you. Just recite it in the meantime. It will click. I'm going to take that into account. Thank you. That's wonderful, Martha. Wonderful. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martha. Anybody else who else would like to speak up or ask a question or make a comment?
Hi, yes. Doctor. This is Michelle.
Michelle. Yes, Michelle.
Hey. So I was just going to say, when I think about like the power of hardship, I think about like when I'm going through something that's hard in the moment, I don't understand it. But once I'm done, like I use that as like a testimony to where like when somebody else is going through something, like I can help them be like, you know, this is how I cope through mine. This is what helped me. And then I'm able to like help somebody else. So
that's what it's for, to help you and your loved ones and other people. Exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly it. And so that adds more meaning to our lives when we help other people with it. It adds a lot of meaning to mine as well.
Right.
Very, very good.
That's kind of it, though.
Well, that's plenty, Michelle. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hugh, what were you going to say?
I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but to me, the bridge is everything.
Yeah, Hugh's saying for him, the bridge is everything. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? It certainly is. I tell people it's at least as important as the commandments of honor, maybe more important. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? That's the gold standard. Honor becomes the gold standard for everything we're doing. In fact, we're no longer looking for happiness. We're looking for honor, which is the foundation of true happiness. So I think that's a valid point, Hugh, very valid.
It helped me get through some rough times.
Help you get through some rough times. I think that's universally the case. And I think it is for many people vital. Thanks, Hugh. Well, I want to thank you very much for being here, to finding a way to get on to Zoom, because I know it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me either. Thank you very much for being here. It's been my pleasure to present to you How to Read the Book of Your Own Heart for Creativity, Wisdom, and Problem Solving.
The sea of destiny is in your deepest struggle. God's will and mine be one, and I wish you well. You are co-creator, respectfully real. There's a way in the valley that turns weakness to steel. We're known through all eternity, from strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done like waters from the desert flow. I pledge my love all the days of my life. I pledge my soul to all that is good. I pledge my heart to my brothers and sisters who I join in the light, leave a legacy of honor. We're known through all eternity. From strife we gain power, clothed in grace and love, disciples of honor. All the days of our lives refuse the way of shame. We wish nobody harm, have no one to blame. Your high calling will be done, and pure eyes now glow. In darkness crave the good, like waters from the desert flow.